After the chaos and thrill of UFC 319, all eyes are now locked on the lightweight division, where uncertainty and drama continue to unfold. Ilia Topuria, despite holding the belt, seems reluctant to face Arman Tsarukyan, while Charles Oliveira has stepped in with a clear opinion. According to the former champion, there's no debate. Tsarukyan has already earned his shot. Ranked number 1 and previously scheduled for a title fight before an unfortunate injury sidelined him, Arman's claim is stronger than ever. Oliveira stressed that opportunities like these shouldn't be ignored. Contenders who fought their way up the rankings must be rewarded. The fans, too, are hungry for clarity. Who will challenge Topuria next? The division stands at a crossroads, and Oliveira's voice carries weight. If the UFC listens, the path forward is obvious. Arman Tsarukyan deserves the chance to prove himself against Topuria. Anything less will only deepen the confusion already swirling around the lightweight throne.
Quem que você imaginaria que seria uma luta interessante e que causaria talvez uma dificuldade pro Topuria?
Cara, não vou te falar nem de dificuldade, nem interessante. Eu acho que o cara que merece isso é o Arman, o número 1 do ranking, então o Arman merece essa luta. Sabe, tá esperando ali, ele lutar pelo título, teve a lesão, saiu, então acho que é o Arman.
Arman Tsarukyan has his eyes firmly set on a comeback, targeting October or November for his return to the octagon. Speaking openly, he revealed conversations with UFC President Dana White about possible matchups, with Abu Dhabi or Qatar as the most likely destinations. The lightweight division is stacked with names: Justin Gaethje, Dan Hooker, and Paddy Pimblett, but Tsarukyan made it crystal clear who he really wants. Among all the potential opponents, it's Paddy, the Batty, Pimblett who caught his attention. For Arman, this isn't just another fight. It's about proving a point and silencing the hype surrounding Pimblett. Known for his flashy persona and outspoken nature, Paddy draws fans and critics alike, but Tsarukyan sees him as a stepping stone to cement his status as the number 1 contender. If the UFC makes this matchup happen, fans can expect fireworks, a battle between raw hype and undeniable skill. Arman's message is simple: bring me Paddy, and I'll show why I belong at the very top.
В январе-феврале. А я уже давно не дрался, и я думал, что мне нужно будет подраться в октябре-ноябре. И я разговаривал с боссом вчера. Они сказали, что, может быть, организуют бой с кем-нибудь.
В Абу-Даби.
В Абу-Даби или в
Катаре. Это очень круто было бы.
В Катаре.
В Катаре?
Да, в Катаре кто-то сказал. Может быть, Гейджи, может быть, Хукер, может быть,
О.
Пэдди.
Слушай, а ты кого сам бы предпочел бы из этого списка?
Пэдди.
Пэдди? Но Пэдди нацелен на Илью тоже, как и ты.
Выход на Илью можно через этот бой. Да, аккуратно выйти, там по-моему
At 35 years old, Charles Oliveira finds himself facing rumors he never expected, whispers of retirement. But Du Bronx isn't having any of it. Recently, he addressed the speculation head-on, making it clear that retirement is nowhere on his mind. Despite a long, grueling career filled with ups and downs, Oliveira believes he still has much more to accomplish inside the cage. Critics may point to his age, but the former champion reminded everyone that fighting isn't just about numbers, it's about passion, skill, and drive. Oliveira insisted that those trying to force the narrative of retirement are simply wrong. His mission isn't finished. He still hungers for legacy-defining fights and another shot at UFC gold. For Oliveira, the lightweight division remains wide open, and he intends to stay a key player in it. To the fans and fellow fighters, his message is clear: stop writing him off. He's not done yet, not even close.
Ou será que essa poderia ser, eventualmente, uma luta de despedida do...
Não, esquece. O povo tá querendo me aposentar antes de eu querer aposentar, eu nem pensei em aposentadoria. Todas as entrevistas que eu dei hoje aqui, todo mundo me perguntou sobre aposentadoria. Eu não tenho a mínima vontade de me aposentar, eu não quero me aposentar, tem muita coisa para acontecer, eu tô muito feliz com o que eu tô fazendo, eu tenho só 35 anos, tem muita coisa para acontecer, então parem de me falar sobre aposentadoria, eu não quero me aposentar.
Khamzat Chimaev has weighed in on one of the hottest debates in MMA, a potential showdown between Ilia Topuria and Arman Tsarukyan. For Chimaev, this isn't just another fight, it's the matchup the lightweight division needs right now. He praised the stylistic clash, highlighting Arman's elite wrestling against Ilia's dangerous striking, calling it a perfect recipe for an explosive contest. Despite being close to both fighters, Khamzat admitted he would be excited to watch them go head-to-head, describing it as a true test of who deserves to be called the best. According to him, 2025 shouldn't pass without this fight happening. Fans, too, are buzzing. The thought of Tsarukyan's relentless pressure against Topuria's sharp, technical stand-up has people predicting fireworks. In Chimiv's words, this is the kind of fight that defines eras and crowns rightful champions. With both men young, hungry, and in their prime, there may never be a better time for this collision.
I know you're kind of friends with Ilia too, and you're friends with Arman. Do you see them fighting this year?
I hope so. It's a good fight for the both guys. So fighting is, we need to know who is the best fighter in the world. So the both guys is best fighters now. So I will be happy to watch that fight. Yeah, it's a crazy fight. Arman is good moves. Like, he has a good kick, good wrestling, and the other guy has a good jiu-jitsu, a good puncher, so it would be cool to watch that fight.
The world of mixed martial arts thrives on rivalries, friendships, and the thin line that separates competition from camaraderie. Few stories embody that blend better than the ongoing saga between Arman Tsarukyan, Ilia Topuria, and Paddy Pimblett, with the ever-intense Khamzat Chimaev standing close by as both ally and motivator. This isn't just about titles, rankings, or money. It's about respect, legacy, and proving who truly belongs on the lightweight throne. Before stepping into the chaos of title talk and contender politics, it's worth pausing on the brotherhood that fuels Arman Tsarukyan's rise. Training alongside Khamzat Chimaev, one of the most feared and relentless fighters in the UFC, Arman has embraced a level of intensity few can match. Their sparring sessions aren't just workouts, they're wars, testing each man's limits, pushing their bodies into exhaustion, and sharpening their minds for battle. Fans have witnessed clips of Khamzat screaming encouragement, "Let's go! Push harder! Break your limits!" These moments reveal the foundation of their friendship, mutual sacrifice, and a shared hunger for greatness. Arman has often said that Khamzat isn't just a teammate but a brother. They stand by each other inside the gym, outside in life, and on the grand stage of the UFC. And it's this connection, this fire forged in sweat and grind, that Arman believes will carry him to the championship. Yet, no matter how strong the bond with Khamzat, the reality of MMA remains brutal. Friendships don't guarantee title shots. What matters is who you beat, how you beat them, and whether the UFC believes you can sell a fight. For Arman Tsarukyan, the narrative has always been the same. He's the most avoided fighter in the division. He's not flashy on the mic, not a trash talker like Pimblett, and not yet a household name like Oliveira. But inside the octagon, he's a storm. His wrestling, his cardio, his ground and pound, they break opponents mentally before they're broken physically. And yet, despite all this, Ilia Topuria has gone out of his way to dismiss him. Topuria, the current lightweight king, brushed aside the idea of facing Tsarukyan, claiming he wasn't worthy. He even went as far as to say he would rather vacate the belt than defend it against Arman. To some, this sounded like confidence. To others, it was fear disguised as arrogance. For Arman, it was fuel. Nothing stings more than being denied respect after years of sacrifice, and Tsarukyan is determined to force the UFC's hand until the fight is undeniable. While Arman continues to chase the champion, another name has been thrown into the mix: Paddy, the Batty, Pimblett. Loved in Liverpool, adored by casual fans, and despised by many hardcore MMA purists, Pimblett is a walking headline. His charisma, his accent, and his brash words make him a promotional goldmine. But inside the cage, his legitimacy has always been questioned. Critics argue that his victories came against opponents past their prime. Tony Ferguson on a losing streak, Bobby Green struggling with consistency, and Michael Chandler coming off multiple defeats. To place Paddy in the same conversation as a proven contender like Tsarukyan feels insulting to many. And no one has voiced that frustration louder than Arman himself. He has repeatedly blasted Pimblett's rise as manufactured hype, insisting the Englishman doesn't even deserve a top 10 ranking. To him, giving Paddy a title shot would spit in the face of meritocracy, turning the UFC into a spectacle rather than a sport. Yet the UFC machine has its own rhythm, and the prospect of Topuria versus Pimblett, Spain versus England, technician versus showman, is almost too tempting for promoters to ignore. But Arman refuses to fade into the background. He's made it clear, if Topuria won't accept him immediately, then give him Gaethje, Hooker, or anyone else ranked in the top 5, but only with a written guarantee that victory leads to a title shot. This isn't desperation. It's a demand for fairness. In interviews, Tsarukyan has broken down why Topuria isn't the unstoppable force many claim him to be. He points out that Topuria is a pure boxer, sharp, yes, but one-dimensional. Against Bryce Mitchell, a mid-level wrestler, Topuria struggled on the ground. If Mitchell could drag him into uncomfortable positions, imagine what Arman could do with his world-class grappling. And Arman isn't just a wrestler. He mixes in elbows, knees, and brutal kicks. His fight IQ allows him to switch gears mid-bout, striking when needed, wrestling when necessary, and always pressuring until his opponents break. He has only boxing, Arman declared in one interview. But me, I have everything. Kicks, knees, wrestling, cardio. He cannot stop me. This storyline has created one of the most fascinating contrasts in the lightweight division. On one side, you have Ilia Topuria, polished, undefeated, and marketed as the next global superstar. On the other, you have Arman Tsarukyan, the grinder, the quiet killer, the fighter's fighter who terrifies contenders but hasn't yet captured mainstream attention. Add Paddy Pimblett to the mix, and the division becomes a carnival of narratives. Should the UFC chase money and book Topuria versus Pimblett, or should it reward merit and give Tsarukyan his shot? Even UFC legends have spoken up. Demetrius Johnson, respected as one of the greatest fighters ever, publicly stated that Arman deserves the title fight more than anyone else. Kamaru Usman echoed the same, warning against skipping proven contenders for the sake of hype. These endorsements matter, but will they sway the UFC, a business that often chooses spectacle over sporting integrity? Beyond rankings and belts, there's an emotional undertone to this rivalry. For Arman Tsarukyan, being dismissed by Ilia Topuria is deeply personal. He isn't just another fighter calling for a paycheck, he's a man demanding recognition for his craft. I'm the next champion. This is my belt, he insists. Those aren't empty words. They're declarations born from years of blood, sweat, and sacrifice. And then there's Paddy Pimblett, mocking him, calling him a spoiled rich kid trying to buy fights. The insults sting, but they also motivate. Every time Paddy opens his mouth, Arman finds another reason to train harder, to fight sharper, to prove not just to the UFC, but to the world, that hype without substance eventually collapses. So what happens next? If the UFC books Topuria versus Pimblett, fans will watch, but questions of legitimacy will hang heavy over the fight. If Topuria avoids Arman again, the whispers of fear will grow louder. And if Arman finally gets a shot, we may see one of the most brutal stylistic clashes in recent memory. Imagine it, Topuria's crisp boxing against Tsarukyan's relentless wrestling. Every round a war of wills. Every second a test of who truly belongs at the top. The stakes wouldn't just be about gold, they'd be about identity, respect, and the future of the lightweight division. For now, Arman keeps training with Khamzat, keeps pushing beyond his limits, and keeps demanding what he has earned. The fans see it. The legends see it. The only question is whether the UFC will see it too. At its core, this isn't just about Arman Tsarukyan versus Ilia Topuria, or Tsarukyan versus Paddy Pimblett. It's about how the UFC defines its champions. Will it prioritize hype and headlines, or will it reward the fighters who grind in silence and rise through merit? Arman Tsarukyan's journey is still being written. But one thing is clear, he won't stop until the belt is around his waist. He won't stop until Ilia Topuria is forced to acknowledge him. And he won't stop until every doubter, every critic, every promoter who overlooked him finally admits the truth. The truth that Arman Tsarukyan is not just a contender. He is the rightful heir to the lightweight throne.